Yeah, I'm Jacquelene Close-Moore, and I'm coming to you live from the Psychic Star in South Yarra, Melbourne. I'm joined by the wonderful, fantastic, and very angelic Raul Estevez, who has a Master's in Education and also works with healing and also is a psychic and works with spiritual teaching as well. So welcome to the show, Raul.
Thank you so much, Jacqueline, for having me. I just like to take a minute to just drop into my heart and send everybody out there love.
Beautiful. I'm loving that. I'm feeling the love already. I dropped into my heart too. It's really important when we work actually in media. And whenever I've done interviews specifically like on other shows or things like that, and also when I go on this show, I do a little bit of an intention. That I used to when I first started doing media interviews, because I'd be really terrified, and I would get down into the heart chakra, take a deep breath and go, okay, you guys, okay, Mother Earth, all right, ancestors, let's get grooving. And it really sets you up for that right space, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
That idea of truly living the love, not just feeling it.
Yep. So you are an author of 3 books, and is it also a deck of cards you've got as well?
And the deck of cards is actually coming sometime this year.
Beautiful. So do you want to tell our viewers a little bit about your books and about your work? Like, what got you started specifically in this field?
Since I was a child, probably about 8 years old, that I've actually been in touch with angels. And angels have been all around me. And as you know, Jacqueline, when you are a child, you don't put any barriers to whatever you're actually receiving. And sometimes the downloads were huge. But as a child, I was just truly playing with the angels and having a chat. But one day, actually, in my first book, My Angel Connections, I talk about how it all happened to me to have that strong connection. I was truly just jumping over the fence from the neighbors to my home and landed on my head, and I heard Archangel Michael and saying, I got a friend here, Raphael, we're going to help you. Just lay there quietly. And so I did. And yes, the whole thing developed from there. They were able to help me up, heal me, and they've been in touch with me all of the time, even when I didn't want them.
Yeah. oh, yes, indeed. I know that feeling.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, Raul, get back on to track. You've got a job here to do.
Correct.
You can't clock off now.
No, and it was that idea that sometimes, well, last century for me, when I was a child, that you couldn't really discuss all those topics with kids. My mother and my late grandmother, they were always open to that because there were angel figurines all around the home. But with other kids, it was not as simple as it is now. So when I wrote My Angel Connections, a set of 13 stories, short stories, it was the idea to help you, the reader, find out a little bit more about how I connected with the angels, but also how you can connect with them. And I placed in the book little pages where people actually becomes an interactive book where you can actually write as you read your own connections to the angels. And so many people have actually written to me that I haven't met, but they actually contacted me on Facebook saying, I love that idea, thank you, because yes, I put it on my bedside table and I read it at nighttime and I just drift off to sleep with a beautiful image in my head.
Yeah.
And I can write in the morning dreams that I may have about the angels. And that was totally the idea about My Angels Connections. And for listeners of yours out there, particularly in the USA, this book is actually available on Barnes & Noble's bookstore.
Wow.
So that's actually very good. And I remember my niece in Orlando, Florida. I said that to her, and she said, "Well, Mom," and she went directly onto the computer, brought it up on Barnes and Noble, and she said to me, "Oh my God, Theo, you're famous." So I knew that at least with my niece, I made it.
It's kind of like when bands first hear themselves on the radio, isn't it? It's like, oh my God, I'm one of those people. I wrote something. And it's out there helping people. I love that it's actually got, like, you get a colour bar through each of the pages, and there's, of course, Metatron. So you get all these different colours as you're going through. So it's really, I was actually going through it, and although I didn't have time to read it yet, I was actually getting this beautiful colour bath, and I certainly relate to the different colours and the feelings around them, and you know what that's all about. You're getting quite relaxed just reading it. I mean, there you go. I mean, what's not to love? Absolutely beautiful. But
Thank you.
it's I like how you got in here. Archangel Michael is my wingman. You've got a lot about Archangel Michael in your work. Did you want to share a bit about what Archangel Michael is for you?
Archangel Michael, to me, is the one that it always has shown me the direction, whether it's been in my previous career in hotels or even my previous career as an academic, always showing me the way, and always showing me the way to connect with people, but also to protect myself and to protect others.
Yep. Yeah.
Because as an empath, and you tend to absorb a lot. And Archangel Michael is there to give me this beautiful bubble of white, blue, and purple light, and to say, hey, Raul, I know that you are willing to give. And that's truly the essence of who I am.
Yeah.
I'm all about love. I'm all about hope. Having only positive expectations, and be able to say to people, you know what, I'm here to give you a hand and to help you achieve your dreams. Because by you achieving your dreams, I'll achieve mine.
Yeah.
And that's what Archangel Michael has done for me. He has been always kind of like the great-grandfather figure.
Yeah.
Tapping me in the shoulder. And even at times, I had a situation where my life was placed in danger about 3 years ago. And he was there to say, hey, Raul, don't run, walk. I'm going to get you there, because if you run and you fall and you hurt yourself, I won't be able to help you.
Yeah.
And I learned to listen. And I usually say to people, Archangel Michael will send you a feather as a sign. Mm-hmm. Yes. If you don't really see the feather, you let it go by, it will throw you a brick and you go, ouch. Or sometimes, still keeping you safe, it may throw the semi-trailer at you. And Archangel Michael, I know that you're here. I got the semi-trailer, and yes, I got it. Thank you.
Thank
I understood.
Thank you for that. Please don't send a B double next time. Road trains are us.
Yes. So the idea that he's a non-nonsense archangel.
Yeah.
He will tell you like it is, no sugarcoating.
Yeah.
But he will talk to you at the stage in your life that you're in.
Yeah.
Because when I was a child, he wasn't that upfront. He was really comforting and encouraging. But as you get older, it's kind of like, like a father figure that tells you, hey, no, this way.
I totally relate to that in some rather hilarious top ways that I'll say for another time, because I want to value your thing on the show. So tell us, you've got another book. I love this child's colouring book. You've actually got colours on each page with that as well, but the children can actually colour it at the end too.
The idea with My Little Angels Talk to Me.
You can do this with it.
Yeah, that was the initial idea, and I worked together with my dear friend and illustrator, Sonia Daru. And I said to Sonia, we need to create this Little Angels book, but I like kids to leave the devices indoors, iPads, iPhones, whatever it may be, and grab the handle of the book and get outside under a tree and read it. And usually with Sonia, I can say, Sonia, I'm giving you all these examples, but it's not what I want. And then she creates her own magic, and here we got the cover. And the cover doesn't show any angels, but it shows children actually, looking up and connecting at that sense. And then I drew my own little stick figures and my own little angels, and then Sonia interpreted that and did something like, for example, we were talking about Archangel Michael, and here is Archangel Michael in all his glory. And the idea of encouraging children nowadays to be able to talk about little angels without being ostracized, like you and I were when we were young.
Oh, God, yeah.
So by taking this book, by having a look, by reading it with friends, and as you can see, the little angels are little kids, sometimes like themselves.
I love it. There's a teddy bear one in here.
Oh, let me just show you the teddy.
I love how the idea is put forward, because if you've cuddled your teddy bear many times as a child, and then you have a frightening moment, you can call on the energy of your teddy bear, which adults can do with inanimate objects as well. If you've loved something or an object that's got a lot of meaning for you and you hold on to that, or and if you can't get to that at the time and you're somewhere else, you can actually call on the energy of that, and it comes and protects you. And so you've got a kind of a message about that in here as well, which I love, because it's really positive, affirming stuff for kids.
Yeah, I just read a little bit. It says, whenever you're alone or afraid, just call my name, Cuddles, and hug your favorite teddy or toy. And she was saying, Jacquelene, quite correctly, and they just get the energy of the angels. They get the energy of, I am safe.
Yep.
I got my little teddy or my little toy that it actually brings me that energy. And that's what I wanted, truly, kids to feel when they look at the teddy or when they look at any other. We even got a little owl there.
Yep.
That is the owl of wisdom. And it encouraged them to actually be the best of themselves, to study, to do great. But also what we wanted with Sonia was to create coloring pages for them to be able to do whatever they wanted to do.
Yeah.
But one message that I said to Sonia, it needs to be clear, that we put it at the front, is there on the little heart. And we're actually saying, don't be restricted by the lines. Color freely.
Yeah.
Because little kids sometimes don't understand. And if you have a look at the colors, for example, I'm just going to find one here, the butterfly. Angelique, the colors are everywhere. And that's what I wanted to feel, that the kids can paint all around, not only within the lines.
Yeah.
And be able to as well display the little artwork, because the pages here are just perforated, so they can just take it off and put it in the fridge.
Yeah.
And show mom and dad what they created. And in that way, the book becomes truly interactive, not only learning and reading, but also feeling.
Yes.
And that's what I'm all about. It's all about the love.
And with your education background, you really feel that in that book, because with the 8 learning intelligences, you've got quite a few of them covered. Because you've got the intuitive, you've got the visual, you've got the rote of the reading, and then you've got the kinesthetic, the touch, the feel, the doing. So it's really, it's really quite beautiful, and it doesn't speak down to children. Like you get a lot of these children's books, and they're and I remember being in prep and saying to my mother, "Why do I have to read this? People don't talk like this."
Right. Yes. And the idea was to talk in the language that a child will truly understand. As you said, not talking down. And with children, you can have a straightforward conversation, because you know what? They're brutally honest. And if what you're saying there on the page doesn't resonate with them, it's not going to happen. We had our own little angel, Sonia's daughter, Sienna, and Sienna was our sounding board, because every time that she saw one of the illustrations or she read the story, she will give us honest feedback.
Yes.
And in that sense, we were able to actually adjust what we needed to write in order to hit the mark. And Sienna is about 8 years old, so she was honest.
That's really good, because you've got that focus group type energy.
Correct. Because you don't forget when you were a child. However, our indigo children, our rainbow children that are coming through now, they have a different level of understanding. And when she saw, for example, Chirpy, the little birdie there, that is a little angel, and the colors, and I said to Sonia, what is she saying? Because I was on the phone. And she said to me, she's not saying anything, she's just smiling. And we knew that we were in a win.
Yeah, absolutely. No worries. Okay, so that's really lovely. Now, you've also co-written with me, as well as many other authors that have contributed to this wonderful book, Journey of a Lightworker. So what's the story that you shared in that book? A bit of an outtake of it.
Yeah, I guess that it was from before I was born, how I actually came to select my parents.
Yep.
And what I was bringing for them to learn and what they were actually bringing for me to learn at the time. And that idea of taking that journey and taking the journey of being an excerpt that actually makes it real and makes it raw. I was born in South America in a country where at the time, when I was a teenager, it was illegal to be gay. And you could actually be stopped by the police on the street and they will take you in and, well, you can imagine the rest. And that idea that on top of that, I believe in angels. On top of that, my father was a soccer fanatic. And I was, out of 3 siblings, the only boy.
Wow.
And the only boy that is actually gay. And that reconciling of ideas that to him it was extremely important to carry the family name. And in his view, the family name will die with me. But it doesn't really, because what you do is really what is your legacy, not your name.
That's it.
And we had a strained relationship, and I went through many of those things in the actual book. And Mom passed away a year after we arrived in Australia. But it was that sort of prediction. She always said, I'll be dying young. And she was 54 when she passed away. And today, well, not today, but this year, I actually turned 53. So I can understand that idea that if I only got 1 more year to live, oh my God, I want to do it all. And she did. She moved countries. She came here. And that challenging situation of, she didn't speak English at the time. And when she went into hospital, and it was kind of like an open and shut situation, they couldn't do anything for her. And the doctor is there telling me that she only had 6 months to live. And there I am, and she's looking right in my eyes, because she knew that even though I may not translate everything, my eyes wouldn't lie. And there, Archangel Michael said to me, Raul, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to be just honest. And I just translated that she only had 6 months to live. And it was less than 6 months, and she passed away. And then Dad and I drifted apart, and we had our relationship. And then I was working in Singapore at the time, and then I got a call that he passed away. I flew to Sydney. And you know what? Archangel Michael also said to me, you know what, Raul, your relationship with your father now is going to improve 10,000 fold. And I'm sure that some of the listeners or people, the viewers out there may think this is crazy. And you know what? It's not. My relationship with him now is much more fluid. He actually said to me, you know what, Raul, I'm terribly sorry. I did the best that I could at the time with what I knew. And now that I'm in a different realm, having a look at everything, I have a much clearer understanding and that feeling of acceptance. And that's very much what people will find in the book. When they read it, not dissimilar to yours. When I was reading yours, I was finding little pockets of what you were doing as a child and how you actually knew. That's something that struck me, playing hide and go seek. And you just ran directly to where your father was. And it's sort of like that blows your mind. But with children, they don't judge. They just go with it. And to be able to do that and to be able to actually put it in a book, and for us to be able to share this with the world, it's not only liberating, but it's also, you're allowing a part of you to go out there and be open. Like I was saying to you before, and my grandmother used to say to me, Raul, what people think of you is none of your business. Don't make it yours. And I always remember that she used to say, okay, stop it. You know what? Those people can go jump. Because you know who you are. You're a beautiful person. You're an educated person, and you're helping people. Continue doing that.
You've got to.
And to me, having gone to university was something amazing. And you know what? I still remember. And it's only, I'm acknowledging the scar, and the pain doesn't exist anymore. But I remember a second grade teacher hitting me over the head with a ruler, saying I wouldn't amount to much because I couldn't get a multiplication or a division, something right. And and you know what? I ended up getting 4 university degrees. Not despite of that, but because that was my pathway.
Yep.
And as I was saying to you, the university that I ended up going to, that I was accepted to in Melbourne University, when I walked in, the emblem is an angel on flight. So it's sort of like, come on, people. I get it. This is what I need to be.
That's right.
And that's what we're actually trying to do with every piece of work that we present to the world. Is, as I usually said, if you're going to publish a book, be happy.
Yep.
And then let it be.
That's it.
If you get a good review, brilliant. And if you get a bad one, even better, because you know what? You open yourself up for judgment.
Yep.
So you need to be prepared. And as far as myself, I'm happy with the work that I have produced.
Absolutely.
So the rest,
that's right.
I don't take it on.
That's right.
Love the accolade, love all the love that people send you, and I'll give it a strike back, but you cannot help the way people are going to react to your work.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Particularly, in my case, people from my university years, they will say, what the hell is Rahul doing talking about angels? Many of them didn't know, and many that they were close to me knew. But that was a part of my life. And now I'm out there doing what I do best.
You've got to do what you've got to do, and you've got to be who you are. And in a way, that can be an exciting learning curve for them as well. Is wow, we thought you were one of us. Well, I am. I'm just a different part of you.
And I guess that's correct. I'm bringing something new. Bringing something new. Even when I was doing my master's and I was writing my thesis, and my career, long story short, started in hotel housekeeping, cleaning toilets, and vacuuming carpets. And I grew up and I ended up opening many hotels worldwide. But I never forgotten where I came from. And I could be like I was in China training 2,000 housekeepers in blocks. Yes, but 2,000 in all. And they see you there, they see you like a demigod. And I used to say, now, hold on, let me just take my jacket off, sleeve up, let me show you how to clean a toilet. I can still do that. Nothing is beneath you. It's all part of you. And I was talking to my thesis supervisor at the university. I was saying, oh my God, these academics are going to eat me alive. I'm talking about hotel housekeeping. And they're saying, this is brilliant, Raul. You're shifting the paradigm. You're putting something new. And it was something new. And when somebody from Singapore, another student that was doing another thesis, called me to say, can I use part of yours and can I quote you? You think, okay, yes, Archangel Michael, I got it. That's what I needed to be there. It doesn't make me a better person. It makes me a person that has a different set of skills and knowledge in order to help somebody else. That's all any course will do for you. Do whatever you must do, follow your own path, but at the end of the day, do it because it's in your heart and you cannot help it but do it. But also think, who am I going to be helping with this course, this degree, whatever it may be? Because at the end of the day, you and I are people of service.
Yeah, beautiful. So thank you so much for being on air with us today, Raul. I'll have to get you back and we'll do some live calls. I think we'll have to do that another time. But it's been a wonderful chat. And thank you so much for sharing about your books and also about your work and life.
Thank you. It's when you open your heart, all of these blessings come your way, and I'm extremely grateful that you invited me to hold space here with you for people out there and to say, just share the love.
Thank you so much, Raul. It's brilliant having you on and having you here today. And so thank you, Raul. We'll have you back again another time. In the meantime, you can catch us again, same that time and same that channel on Soulstar Radio next week. And in the meantime, you can catch up with us on the Facebook page. That's Facebook/Soulstar Radio. And you can also find us on the Soulstar Radio website, which is soulstar.media, and you'll actually find links to Ralph so that you can find him and his books, and also connect with him for readings. But it's been lovely having you with us today, and we'll catch you again next time. In the meantime, we're going to sing a song.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.